That's why it's so important to look back ahead, isn't it? Good example.
Left at the roundabout.
At the roundabout, we'll take the first exit left, please. So. Keep that signal on.
Sorry?
Keep your signal. Make sure if it self-cancels, you reapply your signal. What could happen if your signal cancels? What danger is there in that?
Oh, I think it was well off the roundabout by then, wasn't it?
Yeah, in another situation though, if your signal self-cancelled, what could the cars ahead of you think? Assume. Might think you're going straight on, might they, or going somewhere else. Or if there'd been a pedestrian crossing the road. Looking ahead, you should be alright, moving around. Slow down, brake.
Oh, I'm using tires and tarmac.
Yeah, tires and tarmac is when we're coming up in stationary traffic or very slow moving traffic. We're not at the moment, are we? We're doing 30 miles an hour or more back there. What sort of clearance should we have here, do you think?
I was using tires and tarmac.
Yeah, that's to say, so stationary traffic only. What we're applying here is 2-second rule when we're moving.
2 second what?
2-second rule. So we look at a fixed object when that car passes it, like the lamppost here. We could say only if all breaks the 2-second rule. If we haven't passed the same fixed object by the time we finish saying the little rhyme, then we're far enough behind. If we've passed that before, then we need to drop back. What's behind you at the moment?
Oh, wait. What's all that about then, this 2-second rule thing?
To maintain a gap of 2 seconds ahead of you, it's relative to speed using this method. If you identify a fixed object, wait for the car ahead to pass it. If you say to yourself a little phrase, only if all breaks the 2-second rule, it takes about 2 seconds to say that, so that's your 2-second gap. If you've passed the same fixed object before you finish saying that, then you're too close. If you were too close, what would you do? If you're slowing down,
I'd probably do nothing really. I've got this habit of not doing things unless I understand why.
you need to increase the distance between the two of you. Why do you need adequate clearance between you and the car ahead at such a speed? Well, if I'm too close now,
that's the bit I don't understand.
so come off gas. Why would we be leaving a gap ahead of us? Think safety. Why is it safer to leave a bigger gap? It's a safety zone.
Yeah, but they're not going to stop all of a sudden, are they?
Well, they might do, depending on what happens in front of them. So we're leaving enough distance ahead of us to be able to safely stop, to see them and be able to safely stop. Okay, so we're getting too close again.
It's terrible weather today, isn't it?
It is, and the road is wet. It's another good example of why we need to be further back from the car ahead.
Does it make a difference?
So it does in wet weather. It takes twice as long to stop. So that 2 seconds should really become 4.
Oh, so I was driving way too close.
Yeah, out roll for a second. The car ahead's going to take 2 seconds longer to stop as well in the wet. It's all relative, isn't it? So I've never seen quite why they double it.
Sorry?
I've never quite seen why they double it, the space. Out roll for a moment.
Yeah, out roll. Are you sure the car in front is going to stay 4 seconds away from the car in front?
No, I suppose physically you could stop it, couldn't it, if it hit it quicker than the braking would. And the adhesion to the road with the tyres. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, while we're out of roll, on this pretty much hard subject, you seem to assume that I'd be able to handle it, yeah? Now, the first time we came down here, I never got a chance to get near the car in front, yeah? And then I did get a chance to get close to the white car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you done the right thing, get me to drop back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you done the right thing mentioning the rule.
I'm trying to explain the reasons why for safety.
Well, what's the reasons why?
To be able to see a distance in which we can safely stop.
Yeah.
I said just now.
Yeah, but a long time coming,
But
yeah?
it's too long.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And we're going to turn
Yeah.
it.
Turn left, please, Sadie. I wouldn't say that on test.
Sorry?
Good speed around there with the school and the...
Oh, I forgot the school was there, yeah. So when I anticipate something, I just slow down, yeah?
Sometimes, yes. It's as I said before, it's not black and white. Our actions, as a result of anticipation, are not black and white. We're going to hold back here. How much clearance will we leave?
It's hard to tell me.
That's target. And why are we doing that?
So I don't want to see you out there in the wet pushing that car. Really heavy, them taxis.
Yes. Yes, to move it around it if we need to, isn't it? If you broke down. And not to be so close behind it. If anybody did hit us up the back, that we'd be shoved into the car in front. Sorry.
Yeah, so if I need to slow down, if I see something ahead, just slow down, yeah?
Depends on the situation, yeah. Sometimes you have to give way and stop. You're looking for the situation to develop. See
It's only ahead of me I have to worry about, isn't it?
No, it's behind too. You always need to keep checking your mirror, see what's behind you, looking at the speed and distance of the car behind, aren't we?
Is that really important?
It's very important, yes. It's part of planning and anticipation of what's going to happen. Because if you had a car that was very close behind you and you had to stop suddenly, what might happen?
You might run in the back of us.
You might run in the back of you, yeah. So how could that affect what you could be doing looking ahead?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you.
Well, you could be slowing down a lot sooner, couldn't you?
Oh, you mean brake earlier?
If you brake a bit earlier, the car behind.
Oh, you want me to drive better to help him behind?
To help him behind. You have to sometimes.
Oh, I get you down.
Defensive driving, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our braking slightly earlier, if you've got somebody following very closely behind, is a pre-warning to him that you're going to have to take some action up ahead because it's something that potentially you've seen and he hasn't because he's following too close.
Because when I was behind that white car, then you said I was driving too close to him, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I had a car behind me that was really, really close to me. Oh, I had the urge to try and get away from it.
I see, yeah. No, I can understand that. But you're leaving adequate clearance ahead of you and slowing down. That does leave a decision with the chap behind whether he wants to either slow down, increase the gap, or he might want to overtake and go around you and move in front of you.
So there's nothing I can do to make that less of a problem. We're going to turn right.
Take the trail on the right, please.
If I've got a car very close behind me.
Yeah. If you've got a car close behind you, you should slow down. I know it sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Because you're momentarily going to
You said something about a 2-second gap between me
between you and the car ahead. Yeah, and we're trying to help maintain that between the car behind us and us as well.
It's raining today, so it'll be 4 seconds, yeah?
It will be 4 seconds because it's
So if
raining.
I've got a car close behind me, do I increase the gap between me and the vehicle in front?
I struggle with this outroll. I struggle with this outroll for a minute because, yeah, my advice would be if you had enough space ahead of you and you weren't exceeding the speed limit or going to exceed the speed limit by speeding up and putting more distance between you and the car behind, yes, you should do it.
Oh, you mean get closer to the car in front?
If there's enough space that you don't get so close that you don't maintain the 2-second rule, then yes, you could speed up. It could be an indication you're driving too slowly in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, me driving badly is only going to make the matter worse, isn't it?
It is, yeah. What, speeding up?
Yeah, what's the car behind going to do if I speed up?
Probably close the gap again.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah, so
if you slow down,
I end up in a worse situation, don't I?
yeah, because you haven't got adequate clearance in front of you either.
Right, let's just see if you
So as I was saying to you, if you slow down, the car behind then is left with that decision to either drop back or go around you.
slightly increase the gap between me and the vehicle in front here.
Yeah, increase the gap.
Instead of a 4-second gap, maybe
Say.
a 5-second gap or whatever, yeah? Yeah, speeding up wouldn't be the answer because if he's driving that close to me...
What's he doing that's illegal?
Yeah, so if he's driving that close to me in the first place, well, we're at a roll now anyway, so yeah. If if I speed up, he's only going to speed up with me, isn't he?
Yeah, the likelihood is yes. Yeah. Yeah. So increase the space ahead of you.
Bicycle.
Go back in roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you got your bike here. How much room are you going to give him?
Half the door's width.
No, we said 6 foot, didn't we? Why are we giving him 6 foot width?
6 foot now.
2 metres.
Oh,
6 feet. Yeah.
Is that 2 doors width?
2 door widths, roughly.
No, I know what that is now, yeah.
Okay, well done. Good mirror checks there.
Why does he need so much room? He's only a
Well,
bike.
what would happen if he was to fall off the bike?
I never thought of that, yeah.
How tall would most people be with a bike beneath them?
Yeah, he's quite tall anyway.
Meters, isn't he? He was quite tall, yeah. Probably have to give him a bit more room, really. What would happen if that was a horse? What sort of clearance would you give the
Right.
horse? What sort of clearance would you give a horse if you were passing it?
No, loads. They jump all over the place.
Unpredictable, aren't they? Yeah. Much more unpredictable. So what sort of clearance do you think you would leave as a minimum?
Which is good.
Yeah, I would say at least a car width.
And turning right.
And we're taking this road on the right, please. What's significant about the junction here? Where do you need to stop?
Oh, what junction?
That's it. Good. When do you need to go?
Oh, I can go now, can I?
That's it. Your exit's clear.
Chase it.
Good job.
Shouldn't be crossing the road there, should
Yeah, we set up. Yeah. So that's another good bit of handling anticipation there. You know,
What, chasing him off the road?
no, pedestrian with his hood up probably hasn't seen or heard you, has he? He was masked actually, wasn't he? By the, well, it was for me anyway, by the Range Rover pulling in the junction. I didn't see him until he started turning. But you, what you did was very good. You didn't speed up. You actually backed off a little, pulling in the junction.
Turning left.
Let me take the next road to the right, please, Tony. The smaller the space, the lower the pace.
Sorry?
The smaller the space, the lower the pace.
I'm going to stop on the road.
And we'll stop up there. Right over here, please.
How'd I do on that one then?
You did well. That's what I did.
Sorry?
Oh my god.
Have you covered that much before your before your last?
Yeah, my
last
moving
test?
one. I haven't done it for quite a while now, but my moving ones have been okay previously. But
Yeah, have you covered this meeting clearance and?
oh yeah, not for a long time.
Sorry?
Not for a long time. No. I mean, I covered it with pupils, but
Yeah, you
it's a
were,
bit different. You know,
you were very reactive and very unsure of yourself on there. Yeah. I'll come back and give you a bit more demonstration and a bit of help with that after lunch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you forgot what level I was at, didn't you?
Yeah, I was asking you too many questions about things you really wouldn't know about yet.
Yeah,
it's slightly. I've got a bit muddy messages with this one because it's a PST where you're quite an experienced driver. You've done a lot of things. This is how I've been taught. You know quite a bit, so I could Q&A you
well,
a
no,
lot.
I'm partly trained.
So I could Q&A you a lot more, but you're partly trained.
Yeah, partly trained. Yeah.
They're really no different to
Yeah. What did I say to you before we went in a roll?
Do you have any questions?
I said that I would probably know.
Anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would be expecting guidance on linking the mirrors into anticipation. Yeah.
Anticipating what's coming up behind.
Yeah, because that wasn't happening.
Moving out.
Yeah, I kept saying to you, the first thing I do is slow down, and you said, yeah. Obviously that's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah. The mirrors first. Yeah. I'm making assumptions that you're.
Yeah. Then when I came up behind the first car,
mirror.
then when I came up behind the first car, I couldn't get any closer to him because he had a tow bar in the back.
Yeah.
What should you have said to me as I came up behind the first car?
I said slow down, didn't I? I think if we look back at the tape.
Yeah, I'm looking at the road.
I think I said slow down.
Looking at the road ahead, what's the first thing
And
you
then
should
I started saying brake. Check your mirror and then brake. Gently brake.
I needed guidance on where to stop, didn't I?
Yeah.
And the tyres and tarmac.
Too late with it. Yeah.
And the reasons why. Yeah, you came with the reasons why afterwards, yeah? and then we went down the road. I couldn't get a chance to drive too close to the vehicles in front because they were all doing the speed limit. But I went around and went back down again, and I had the white Astra in front, which was a nice target to play with.
Yes.
And the Astra was quite close to the car just ahead of him, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
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 Yeah. So I got quite close to him at one stage, and obviously I'm not going to sit there for more than a few seconds because if he stops, I've got to take responsibility if I can't stop. Yeah. Immediately you want to tell me to drop back.
But what's the best way of telling you to drop back? Is ease off the gas.
Yeah, drop back. You know, just make.
Because drop back's a bit.
Well, you know, just make a clear pull back, slow down.
Yeah.
You know, get me away from
Well,
the.
try and steer clear of phrases like drop back, slow down, because they're not. I've been taught they're meaningless to somebody who's new to driving.
Don't be sitting there thinking of a word to say when I'm sitting in bed.
Yeah.
You know, a car's length away from an Astra that's doing 40 mile an hour on a wet road. Yeah. Yeah, on the first time we went down that road, we had a clear road. Was there no way we could have talked about the 2 second and the 4 second rule?
Yeah, probably was, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
We could have done, couldn't we? Yeah? You have to remember on lessons with pupils, you might not get an opportunity
so using your
to have vehicles ahead of you that you can keep up with, yeah?
Yeah.
But again, what have they learned at the end of the lesson if it's not being mentioned, yeah? Yeah, what I needed from you there was I eventually got a 2 second rule, even though you know we need to move on, so the roads are wet today and it needs to be twice that distance, yeah? Yeah, I got that eventually. I need the reason why, don't I? Why when it rains like this do we always have accidents on the M1 and the M25? Why?
Yeah, because people are able to stop.
Why are they unable to stop?
Surface water, less grip, tyres.
Surface water has
Not
no
leaving
effect
enough,
on,
not leaving enough separation distances. Yeah.
It's driver error, isn't it?
Driver error, yeah.
Yeah. Water doesn't cause any, doesn't cause any ill effect to.
Oh no, I mean it's adding to. It's a risk. It's adding risk.
Yeah.
The water, isn't it?
Yeah. So what we need to do is teach drivers that that is a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weather conditions.
And if the roads are wet, then I need to make sure that if that vehicle ahead of me stops, I can stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I could link back to your theory test then, couldn't I, as well? You learned your theory, which you should have done, and also the icy conditions. How much further would you be back on? How much longer does it take to stop? So how much further back should you be? If it's icy, I could have said that, couldn't I?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could have said, but I need, you need to come in with that, the risk side of it. If I drive too close to that white car, and he was very close to the car in front, you can see his brake lights coming on and off. Yeah. I didn't even want to get that close in the first place.
Oh, you were a long way further back from the car ahead than from the Astra than he was to Astra was to the car ahead of him.
Yeah, I didn't want to be there at all, to be honest with you.
No.
I just wanted the reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same what I gave you the scenario that if we had a car I had a car very close behind me. I did actually have a car very close behind me, and he was only a couple of inches off my rear bumper. Yeah, going fast. Me going faster up beyond the Astra. God, I'm putting myself in real danger now, haven't I? I've made a bad situation totally worse, haven't I? I'm on a road to disaster, haven't I? If that Astra stops, we're going to be in a right old sandwich, aren't we?
Literally.
Yeah, I'm going to have to increase my gap between that vehicle, between the Astra. The important thing is, if that Astra stops, what can I do to help that car behind me stop in time without hitting me, yeah? Because it could be a 40-ton lorry, yeah? And you're not going to get hit by them very often and walk away from it, yeah? So, what would you say I'm looking to do?
Increase the gap ahead of you.
Yeah, so I can get the brake lights on without even actually probably
without braking.
Putting any braking on the car at all.
You could touch the brakes.
It wakes the old lorry driver up, doesn't it? Or the vehicle behind me up a bit. You go, oh God, the car, he's going to stop, yeah? But But a wake-up call may well save a lot of lives, yeah?
Yeah.
We had an accident on the M1 the other day. 3 people lost their lives.
Really? Yeah.
You had on the same morning, you had an accident on the M40, didn't you? Because of fog.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard that.
Yeah, so think about what you do yourself in your own drive,
Yeah.
and think what you've done in your part 2.
Yeah, I guess myself, if the road ahead's clear, I tend to speed up if someone's tailgating for me if I'm under the speed limit. It's prompt for me. I want to drive literally slowly. I'll speed up a bit.
Well, I
and
can
then
promise you.
if it doesn't work, I'll just maintain the speed limit or slow down.
Well, I can
after
promise
that.
you on your part 2, which you got no driver faults on. You never got no driver faults if you drive too close to the vehicle in front.
No, I'm just saying in a scenario where you've got nothing ahead of you, you've got somebody tailgating you, I would probably speed up a bit if I was going slower than the speed limit. Just up to the speed limit, and then if that didn't work, I'd slow down again. They can get out of the way.
Well, personally, if it was me and the vehicle in front wasn't doing the speed limit, I'd either overtake him, or I was just drop back and let that car do what he wants to do and overtake me. Hopefully, yeah. Does that make sense?
It does depend on the type of road as well that you're on.
Sorry?
It does depend as partly on the type of road that you're on. By dropping back and provoking the car behind to overtake you, you might be actually causing more danger, might you?
Yeah,
In some situations.
Yeah, I mean, you
it's
know,
a hard one. There isn't a hard and fast rule, is there really? Well, there is a rule to it, but there isn't.
Yeah,
it isn't black and white.
rear end shunts are probably the most commonest accident, isn't they? You see them at roundabouts. You know, people not looking at the car in front, looking at the roundabout. Well, straight up at the back side of the car in front, yeah.
I need to be able to learn to pass my knowledge on, because I know what is right, and I've been driving 28 years. I've never had anyone claim off my insurance, never caused an accident in that 28 years. I've only been involved in 2 where somebody else pulled out in front of me, and it was literally I was right on top of them. They pulled out in front of me on a 60 mile an hour speed limit it was at the time. It's been dropped since, and it was not enough room for me to stop. I was looking at him, planning, but sometimes it's not enough, is it? He hadn't moved until I got right on top of him. That's the only accident, a really serious accident I've ever had.
Yeah, I mean, that subject that we just covered. We're going to have a bit of lunch first.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back and cover this again this afternoon because...
Need to get better, yes.
Yeah, you know, I'm not...
It's reasons my problem, isn't it? Reasoning why.
You know, I'm not blaming you in the slightest. It's just that... You know, I don't know whether your trainer was... he had nerves of steel, or he didn't put you in these situations in the first place. But I don't really want to be sitting at the backside of a car for more than a couple of seconds, yeah? You know, I'll drop back whether you give me instructions or not, because obviously if I hear him, it's my licence and our lives, and I'm responsible for this car, yeah? And everybody else on the road. You know, so you need to get me back, and you need to start, you know, treat me as a real pupil. You need to explain to me, hammer home the reasons why, yeah?